Beautiful Britain by Iain Mckell, published by Prestel in 2012. 220 pages. It is hardback and it is just under 9 by 10. It's a nice sturdy book. It's a bit of a retrospective of Iain's work from roughly 1997 right through to 2012. There's a mixture of colour, black and white, and there is a real strategy when this came out. 2012 was a really important year for being British, I guess. It was the Diamond Jubilee, which was I think of February, and it was the Olympics in the summer. And this was strategically put out in April. Very clever. And I think the angle of the book, I guess, is the celebration of being British. Seaside towns. He loves the quirkiness, the ugliness, the odd, the bizarre, the idiosyncratic, the blood, the curry sauce of it all. You know, he loves that side of England which we probably don't see every day, you know, like having a stag party fight in Blackpool or something like that, or, you know, being in a kebab shop queue on a Saturday night in Newcastle. And I think in that sort of genre, and that's what Iain means by beautiful Britain, for it's all its loveliness. And I think that's what this is trying to say, in a sort of way countering what's going on with the Olympics and what's going on with the Diamond Jubilee. It's a way of saying, here's the normal way of life in Britain. It's beautiful. I guess that's my view. So, like I said, shot from 1977, a retrospective, colour black and white, 220 pages. I think there's some fantastic images in here. If I'm honest, I'm not sure on the edit. I'm not taking away the pictures. The pictures are, he's a fantastic photographer. I think there's a book within a book here. I think there's a certain edit in here which, if you put them together, would just be phenomenal. But then I think there's an over-edit on it, and there's a few things within this which I think I'm not really sure of. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not taking it away from me. I think some of the stuff in here is wonderful. I think his other work is wonderful. I always question edits, and for me, a little bit, the edit in this is a little bit, I don't know, overdone. I'll show you, and I'll try and explain. I'm not going to show you all of it, because I think you should buy it. It's very easy to get a hold of. You should support Iain's work. This is a foreword by William Oliver. Now, I don't know who William Oliver is, I have to admit. The photographs in this book come from a number of projects and were taken over the last 35 years from 77 to present. The extended series have been edited to the collection that reflects my background growing up, working in Britain. They document the people, events, movements that have shaped me as a photographer. Wonderful. Great shot. It's one of the first shots I remember of Iain's work. I'm going to see if I can drop this, and let's just work on that one there. That's good. This is Weymouth in 77. Like I said, I think one of the first sets of shots I ever saw of his work was this, and I was immediately hooked. So he's got a fascination with seaside towns. I seem to have some error on the printing feed there. I'm not really sure what that is. I'm not sure if it's a strike like that all the way through all the other books, or mine's just a one-off. Classic English. Malcolm and his mother, Weymouth, 77. So we're starting off with the seaside town, the early stuff. That's great, isn't it? Just like, reminds me of something like from Nevada or LA in the 70s. Weymouth. I love this shot. I like the quality of the pictures. A lot of this stuff is shot like this. You get in that edit sequence. It's sort of question whether there's so many predominant square and horizontal shots here, whether it may be a better book like that, because the pictures need to be big. It works totally big, but the big ones are in the gutter. So we've got here. Oh, sorry, that was, I think these were all, yeah, Weymouth 77. So he's not one to shirk off the sort of sexual aspects of his work, which is features in this, and he very much plays around sex a lot. He very much plays around gang culture. He likes groups of people getting together. He likes the sort of repetitive motion of people doing things. And like this is just, I love this. I love this series. I think there's something in this. It's fantastic. This is Weymouth 77. I mean, it's fantastic. And then we're moving away from his times in Weymouth. There's a whole series there. It's great. I love this shot. Look at that. You see, I think this sort of stuff needs to be big. Like that, it looks fantastic. But obviously if it was horizontal, that would be smaller. But I think the horizontals outweigh the verticals. And this is the Reading Festival, the 77, whether that's a fight or they're just dancing to the music. So there's a lot of his early stuff in Weymouth here. Southend, that's a great shot. That's wonderful, look at that. And Wembley, Brick Lane. Now we're going into sort of skinhead culture and football, 80s, really violent periods, you know, for music and football and youth culture. We've got the Skinheads. Yeah. Southend-on-Sea, 1980. That's great. So I'm going to jump to 2001, Invisible Expanded Collective Squat, Hampstead. So this is where we're hitting his subculture side. Again, he's really fascinated with this. People living on the fringes, people even living in the fringes, living in society and acting like they're on the fringes, like the skinheads, I guess. You know, they're sort of playing an act in a way, to some degree. Where these guys are actually living that fringe life, you know, they're who they are and where they are and is who they are. And that's Ladbroke Grove 2001 in a squat. This is, I think, is part of a rave. Hastings 2001. Look at that. This is a great shot. Battersea 2007. And what I'm trying, I love this stuff. Look at that. It's just fantastic. Portobello Film Festival and that, the squat in 2001. It's got some really lovely colour work. That's that going to black and white. That's 2001. Arms deal protest. These are lovely. Stonehenge summer solstice. So there's again the gathering. He's coming together, a culture, a type of person who comes together on that. He likes a lot of that, and he focuses on a lot of that. Even the people who go into the seaside in the summer, that's a collective group of people who go off to seaside towns and stuff like that. So he's fascinated with that approach and how people set themselves apart a little bit from society. If that makes any sense. Mayday, Glastonbury, wonderful. Lovely, aren't they? Look at that. That's a great portrait. Now he's in square format here. And that is Alice's Wedding. That's the cover. And that's beautiful Britain, you know. This is beautiful Britain. This is what it's about, isn't it? This is who we are, and like this, you know, it's fantastic. And who we were in terms of that skinhead culture and the squatters are still very much part of our culture, but it's a different type of person now, isn't it? It's interesting. This is interesting. So what I've got to be careful of is That's wonderful. Look at that. Bruce, Northampton, 2005. We're moving into a sort of quite some sort of sex-based stuff. I think he started to go to a lot of, or photographing a lot of swim. There's a revisit to Weymouth in 2011. But there's a lot of stuff here which is sort of moving up towards sort of sex parties and swingers parties. And I don't even want to guess where some of it is, but it comes a little bit later. Somerset Carnival, Western-super-Mare, 2009. I love his detachment, you know. I think what Iain's done a lot here, he's made good use of detaching the person a little bit from the reality of the surroundings, and he's done that quite a bit. And I think this is quite interesting. His posture, his eye hierarchy, with him coming below, giving that person there that sort of dominance in the shot, and he sort of detached the person a little bit from the actual reality and giving him his own identity. And I think with the classic is this shot here where, and the wedding shot, and it gives it this sort of surreal quality where you can ask questions of it. He's a very good photographer, very good photographer. I like the way he just takes people out of their surroundings and plops them into something where you maybe question it a little bit, you know, or question the person. I quite like that. Like, a lot of people might want to get rid of that in the shot, but he's kept it in. He's added a little bit of conflict within the context of the frame, where if you look at that shot like that, it almost gives it this sort of studio feel to it. But I think with the relationship now is that it's outside. This is happening, you know. Just my view. I like that. Somerset Carnival. Again, he's liking and trying to document people doing stuff and having fun. This looks like a float or something like that, doesn't it? These are lovely. Vivian at Ben's exhibition. Okay. I love this. It's interesting. I've got a shot of this, not this guy, but of somebody similar walking around with this cross. It's fantastic. And I love this. And it happens a lot around Kensington and Notting Hill. There's a guy or some people who walk around with these white crosses. So here we're moving into the sex side of it. I've got to be careful here. Well, I'll get away with that. So this is Laura and Rachel, Sanctum Soho, 2010. And stuff I can't really show you, just missed that. And this is Dave's House, Camelot, Bermondsey, 2001. It always reminds me, there's something about him which reminds me of a little bit of early Stephen Shaw and Eggleston. And there's that sort of exploratory colour. And I get a little bit of that with the way he frames it, a bit of Eggleston in the way he frames, and maybe that old style sort of Shaw type feel to things. I love that. Dave Bermondsey, 2001. Travellers. Wonderful. Look at that. Beautiful. These are great, aren't they? London. Oh, look at that. That is brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I'm not going to pronounce what it says, but these are beautiful. Those are like wonderful. These are Stonehenge. That's just monumental, isn't it? Now we're going into a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit kinky and a bit sex sort of scene going on here. I might be wrong. DJ Portland Place, 2001. Hannah, Tiger, Kane, Hector, 2011. There's a party going on. Some smoke, drugs, and I think there's some the shop owner stuff, shop worker stuff is brilliant. It's beautiful. Wow. I think we'll end with that. Maisie and Tora. It's got a unique way about him. I love the sort of intimacies he's portraits. I love the way he alienates the person a little bit. I love the way he questions. I love the way he makes you think a little bit about who the people are, and that's important. He's got a nice style about him. Like I said, it's quite candid, but beautifully executed, and that's a skill in itself. It's a wonderful book. There's certain things which I've missed out on, which I thought in the edit didn't work. Overall, go and buy this, it's fantastic. I haven't shown you all. I'm on page 187. There's a randomness, there's a loveliness about it. Shots in it, which I'm not really sure it needs that shot in it, you know. That's what I meant about the over editing bit. It doesn't, stuff like that. It's an ending shot, but I think something like that's superb, you know. That's for me, that's how I see him as a photographer. That maybe it's a great shot. I don't know. Maybe that's the designer's shot. I'm not really sure. But anyway, comment on this. Talk about it. It's a great book. Get out and buy it. Thank you, Iain. I've got more stuff I'm going to look at yours. I know you've got a book Kickstarter out at the minute, and I'm going to have a look at that. So thank you very much. I love your work, and I will continue to keep watching what you're doing. Best wishes.